There's a liquid that costs $2 and makes any wood completely waterproof, fireproof, and rot-proof, forever. Not for a season, not for a decade, permanently. One coat applied to bare timber and the wood changes at the molecular level. Ancient builders in the Roman Empire used it on temple scaffolding. The German military deployed it across their entire fleet of wooden structures in both world wars. Industrial chemists documented it in 1939, confirmed every single claim, and then watched it disappear from hardware store shelves within 15 years. You've never heard of this liquid because the global wood preservation industry generates over $60 billion a year. A permanent $2 solution is not an innovation they celebrate. It is a threat they bury. This is the story of sodium silicate, the wood hardener that empires trusted and corporations quietly erased. Welcome to Fixvival. Think about every piece of wood in your life. The deck boards that go soft and splintered after 3 winters. The fence posts you replace every 7 years because they rot at the base. Your camp axes, garden tools, and workbench vise. The cabin walls you repaint every season. The firewood storage rack that fell apart last spring. Every failure has the same cause. Unprotected wood is a sponge. It absorbs water, it swells, it contracts, it cracks, letting in fungal spores and insect larvae. Every industry selling U-deck stain and pressure treatment depends on rot being a permanent problem with no permanent solution. But there is one solution. Let me take you back to where this all starts. The year is 1640, and a Flemish chemist named John Baptist van Helmont is working in a cramped stone laboratory outside Brussels. Van Helmont is best known today as the man who first identified that air is not a single substance, but a mixture of different gases. But buried in his laboratory notebooks is a series of experiments on what he called aqua vitri, the water of glass. Van Helmont discovered that dissolving silica in a strongly alkaline solution produced a thick, clear liquid that dried into an almost invisible glass-hard film. When he brushed this liquid onto wooden boards and let them cure, the wood absorbed it completely. The surface became hard and impervious to water. Van Helmont wrote that the treated boards threw back a candle flame as if they had been coated in something mineral rather than organic. He was observing the first documented use of sodium silicate as a wood hardener, but the era did not have the language to understand it. His notes were filed away and largely forgotten for over a century. Fast forward to 1818 in Munich, Germany. A German chemist named Johann Nepomuk von Fuchs formally isolated and characterized sodium silicate as a pure, reproducible compound. Von Fuchs was methodical. When he applied sodium silicate to wood samples, he recorded results that should have changed construction permanently. Wood treated with a single coat showed complete resistance to water penetration. Samples in soil showed 0 fungal degradation after 2 years. Most dramatically, treated samples held in an open flame for 30 seconds showed surface charring only, with the fire extinguishing itself. Von Fuchs understood that the silicate was penetrating the cellular structure and chemically transforming organic tissue into mineral stone. He published his findings in a respected scientific journal. The chemistry was confirmed and documented, and the world went on almost entirely ignoring it. But not everyone ignored it. By the 1850s, engineers building the early railroad infrastructure across Prussia began treating wooden railway sleepers. Untreated oak sleepers were failing within 4 years. Treated sleepers were still structurally sound after 12 years under heavy traffic. The savings were staggering, yet the treatment remained a regional practice. Then comes 1939, and that is where the story takes a dark turn. Let me explain exactly what is happening inside the wood when you apply this liquid, because the science makes this impossible to dismiss. Sodium silicate is formed by fusing silica, the compound in sand and glass, with sodium carbonate at extremely high temperatures. Wood is composed of cellulose fibers arranged in hollow microscopic tubes called tracheids, which usually act as wicking channels for moisture. When applied, the solution penetrates these tubes. As it reacts with carbon dioxide, it precipitates as solid microscopic glass particles. What was once organic becomes a mineralized composite. Fungi cannot consume glass, and fire cannot easily combust this silicate mineralized wood. By 1939, German researchers documented that this treatment doubled hardness and eliminated rot, yet these results were systematically removed from public awareness. A $2 treatment that stopped fire and decay permanently. Now let me tell you exactly why that happened. After 1945, the global chemical industry entered the most explosive growth period in human history. Petroleum-based chemistry had produced synthetic resins, polymer coatings, and preservative compounds during the war effort. Now those manufacturing facilities needed peacetime markets. The wood preservation and surface coating industries consolidated rapidly through the 1950s. By 1960, a small number of very large chemical corporations controlled the majority of wood treatment products sold internationally. Their products, like pentachlorophenol and polyurethane sealants, were complex, patented, and expensive to manufacture. They generated recurring revenue because they degraded over time and required reapplication. They were sold at dramatically high margins. Sodium silicate threatened every single one of those products simultaneously. It is a naturally occurring inorganic compound derived from silica, the most abundant mineral on the surface of the earth. It cannot be patented. It can be manufactured by any chemical producer for pennies per kilogram. A homeowner with a $5 bag of powder and a foam brush can apply it in an afternoon with no professional training. It does not degrade and does not generate a replacement purchase cycle. A single permanent treatment at $2 does not fit that business model. So the industry did what it has always done. It did not attack sodium silicate directly. It simply stopped mentioning it. Sodium silicate began appearing in commercial products under names like mineral hardener, penetrating silicifier, or inorganic consolidant. The chemistry was identical. The markup was the only innovation. Meanwhile, in the hardware stores, sodium silicate simply vanished. Not because it failed, because there was no profit model for a $2 permanent solution competing against a $20 sealant. Think about the numbers. The residential deck coating market in the United States alone accounts for over $4 billion per year. Homeowners spend an average of $800 to $2,000 on deck refinishing every few years. A one-time sodium silicate treatment of the same deck would cost under $15 and last for the life of the structure. That gap is not a failure of chemistry. It is an active choice by an industry whose revenue model depends on your wood remaining vulnerable. Sodium silicate never actually disappeared. It simply moved into sectors where users were sophisticated enough to find it and wealthy enough to pay for it. European heritage experts use it to preserve medieval timber structures in cathedrals and palaces across Scandinavia. These treatments are functionally identical to the water glass you can buy for pennies. The difference is the expensive packaging and the elite institutional invoice. Scientific literature confirms it. Silicate mineralization provides fire resistance and stabilizes waterlogged archaeological wood better than modern commercial coatings. Now, the DIY community is rediscovering this knowledge. Builders from Oregon to Maine are using sodium silicate to protect their own timber frames. From off-grid cabins to saltwater boat frames, independent creators are documenting the same success that railway engineers found nearly 2 centuries ago. The chemistry has not changed since 1818. The research never stopped. We are simply remembering what was hidden in plain sight. Here is exactly what to do, and it is almost embarrassingly simple. Go to any chemical supplier and purchase sodium silicate solution. It is also sold under the names water glass and liquid glass. You want a solution concentration of approximately 37 to 40%. A 1 liter bottle costs between $2 and $4 and will treat approximately 15 to 20 square feet of raw wood surface. For larger projects, a 5 liter container typically costs under $12. First, prepare your wood surface. The wood must be dry and free of existing paint or sealant. Sodium silicate penetrates bare wood only. If treating old wood, sand any existing surface coating down to clean timber. For new wood, allow it to dry completely. Apply the solution using a foam roller, a natural bristle brush, or a garden pump sprayer. Work the solution into the wood with even overlapping strokes. Do not try to build up a heavy surface film. The wood will appear wet and slightly glossy during application. Allow the first coat to cure for 4 hours. The surface will shift from wet-looking to a faint, cloudy haze as the silicate begins to mineralize. Apply a second coat. For structural timbers or ground contact wood, apply a third coat. This produces full mineralization to a depth of 10 millimeters. Once fully cured, the surface can be painted over with any water-based paint without adhesion problems. For outdoor timber like fence posts, treat the entire post, focusing on the bottom 2 feet for ground contact. For wooden tool handles, apply 1 diluted coat to allow deeper penetration into the slender cross-section. For log cabin structures, concentrate treatment on any joint areas, notches, or end-grain surfaces. Total materials cost for an entire deck, under $15. Expected result, 0 rot and 0 fungal growth. The price difference is the only innovation the industry ever brought. This is professional results at a fraction of the cost. Jan Baptist van Helmont wrote about aquavitri in a cramped Brussels laboratory in 1640. Johann von Fuchs formally documented the chemistry in 1818. Railway engineers applied it to infrastructure in 1851. Laboratory researchers confirmed everything with modern scientific rigor in 1939. And then the knowledge was priced out of your awareness. Buried under $60 billion of annual revenue. Hidden behind proprietary trade names and professional-only product lines. Kept off the shelf of every hardware store and home improvement guide. Not because it failed, because it worked too well, cost too little, and lasted too long to fit inside a business model built on recurring replacement. Your fence post rots because that is what the industry needs it to do. Your deck boards swell and crack because that is the revenue model. The forest knew the solution 4 centuries before the first paint company opened. Every civilization that built in wood found its way to mineral preservation. The Romans sealed timber scaffolding with volcanic pozzolan solutions rich in silicate minerals. Medieval Japanese craftsmen treated structural temple timbers with urushi lacquer that partially mineralizes the surface wood layer through silicate cross-linking. Traditional builders in northern Scandinavia painted log walls with a ferrous, sulfate, and silicate mixture called Jern vitriol that has kept pine structures standing. The chemistry pointed in the same direction every time, across every culture that had time to observe what lasted and what failed. What lasts is not a coating that sits on top. What lasts is a mineral transformation that turns the wood itself into something the forest never intended, something that rain cannot penetrate, fungus cannot consume, fire cannot easily claim, and time cannot easily soften. That knowledge did not die. It waited in railway engineering reports, in academic journals, and heritage conservation contracts from the past 30 years. Chemistry does not expire. Silicon dioxide does not have a marketing department. The trees standing for centuries in treated structures across Europe are not interested in your deck sealant subscription. If this changed how you look at the rotting post in your backyard or the wooden tools in your shed, subscribe and share this now. The next vault opens soon. What is inside it is the one thing every builder throws away that could have saved every structure they ever built.